Hello and welcome back to Broadside Game with me, Zug, and it is patch 14 and there have been some changes. Quite a lot of changes actually, especially for the Psyker, which is what we're looking at today. So let's just dive straight in, shall we? If you want a full overview, I have done a full patch note breakdown. You can see that it probably came out a few hours before this video, so feel free to go look at that. In this video, I'm mostly only going to be looking at the Psyker. So what's changed? Quite a lot. So we'll go through it bit by bit. So brain rupture or brain burst, however you remember it, has actually been buffed. They've reduced the peril cost of charging the right click from 30% to 20, reduced the penalties from moving, increased the power from 850 to 900, increased the unyielding damage armor modifier from 1 to 1.25, increased the maniac armor modifier from 1 to 1.5, and the carapace from 0.75 to 1. And it fixed an issue where brain burst, brain rupture would cause an explosion even with the talent empowered Psynox activated. So brain rupture has been buffed. Let's take a quick look. This is going to do loads of damage because I have no buffs. And how about the moving? It's not too bad. So brain rupture is still okay, but the biggest thing we have to be careful of now is venting shriek. So what have they done to venting shriek? Well, I'll tell you. If I can find it. Where the hell is it? Sorry, it's being upgraded version, so can still use to avoid downing themselves. What? Combat ability, Psykinetics Wrath. The patch notes are being weird. So from what they said, venting shriek was changed. So let's see if it is actually changed or whether it was just a weird, because it's nope, venting shriek's fine. So when I read through it, it was wrong. Now it's not. So please ignore what I said about venting shriek. Venting shriek's fine, which means builds like this, where you're pretty much building into brain rupture, sorry. But you're not using it. You're using it for its there is kinetic flare. All attacks have a 10% chance on hit to brain rupture. So this is basically the press W to win build that I posted a few weeks ago. And you're basically exploiting the fact that brain rupture will trigger a lot. As you can see there, it triggered. And with this sort of build, you are just throwing. And then you press F to not die. So venting shriek's actually been buffed. How they've reworded this. Where it is it? Psykinetics Wrath added a 10% quell to base of Psykinetics Wrath ability, meaning that Psykers who do not have the upgrade Psykinetics Wrath can still use the ability to avoid downing themselves. I mean, unless I'm being incredibly dumb, I think they're talking about venting shriek. Because, yeah, I just think they've misworded that. So venting shriek is fine. Venting shriek now decreases peril generation by 1% for each enemy hit, stacking 25 times, which is very, very good. Let's just. There's some very strange wording in these. Okay, so we're venting. And then we get some more peril decrease over time. So Vending Shriek has actually gotten better. There we go. They've just worded it incredibly weirdly on there. Let's move past that. So, as I said, Brain Rupture, being upgraded, does more damage. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Yum, yum, yum. Next, Sail. So, what have they done to a Sail? Shifting power to reduce spaminess of primary attack, but increases the usability of the secondary aim attack. So, the normal left click of just throwing them out and killing everything has gone from 250 to 200, but the aimed version has gone from 250 to 340, or 400 if you're using empowered psionics, which is this. I'm not currently using empowered psionics in this build, but we'll just have a look at what the damage is like anyway. I mostly use these for clearing out Poxwalker hordes when things are getting a bit dangerous, because I generally use the Void Strike staff to kill anything that is not Poxwalker or a random drudge. I mean, it still pretty much does exactly what it says on the tin. And let's have a look at what the damage is like. I mean, the damage upgrade is pretty nice. It's not brilliant against flak, but, you know, it never was. But unarmored and, you know, maniacs and things. Not a bad change. It was a bit silly. I would have preferred if they didn't touch it, but they have, and we all knew they would. So, you know. So most of the old builds will work pretty well. So yeah, Assail, slightly nerfed in its spammy form, slightly buffed in its more targeted form. But one of the nicer things they've done, and what I really wanted to talk about, was what they've done with Smite. So they knew there was a bug with Smite, which was you take this, you take any of these, and then you take empowered psionics, and what you'd be able to do is constantly smite without gaining perils. Everyone knew this was going to be fixed, which is why I never made a guide on it, because it was going to be fixed and soon. But what they've done is they've gone, people really enjoyed this, so let's buff Smite, and that's what they've done. And this is what they said about it. Smite being able to channel without cost when empowered psionics was active was a bug. We do, however, feel that without it, Smite can feel a bit lackluster. In combination with empowered psionics, so we're further increasing the power of it. We'll be keeping an eye on it and are up for doing something related to cost in the future as long as it's more balanced this time around. Which is nice. It means they're listening and they've actually seen that people were having fun with something, even though it was broken, and they're trying to give it to us in a way that is still fun, but not totally game-breakingly broken. Which, you know, I appreciate. So let's have a look at it. It would be better if I had empowered psionics running, but for some reason that doesn't seem to want to proc. Let's see if we can get empowered psionics going, and we'll try it properly. Okay, so we've got one. And that's 3. Okay, let's give it a go. So the damage isn't super crazy, but we still get a pretty decent cast out of it. This is on Damnation, so the damage isn't absolutely horrific. So Smite, it actually got buffed. So yeah, I enjoy it. And also, if you, this is probably posted on the channel somewhere, but for a smite shield build. Here you go. Soul Stealer into perfect timing. Grabbing as many toughness things as we can. We are not taking Quietude though. Into smite through Psychedelics Aura. And then on the way down into Prescience, Empathic Evasion, Telekinetic Shield. They have buffed the bubble. They've made it, they've fixed a load of visual bugs with it and also increased the toughness, the duration, and they've just made it a lot nicer. And they fixed the curved shield so that it actually drops in place instead of just sort of being, I don't know, maybe it'll shield me, maybe it won't. This is a nice support smite build, really. So if things start getting tough, you can drop the bubble and start smiting and try to help your team out. You can lock down groups of crushers, bulwarks, anything with this, really. But you still have the power of the Void Strike Staff for all of your killing needs. They have toned the Void Strike Staff down slightly, but not enough that would make it not usable. But out of all of this, the Psyker didn't do too badly. The only thing that got weirdly nerfed was Perilous Combustion and Wildfire. They reduced the stacks down quite drastically on them. So if you were using it, I would dump the points out and go somewhere else with them. But other than that, I think the Psyker did pretty well out of all this, and I will be updating the builds as they have changed ever so slightly. So we've dumped a few points. We're not going for the Perilous Combustion. We're throwing the points in other places. But yeah, we didn't do too badly as a class. So I hope you enjoyed the video, folks. This is isn't really a guide. This is just sort of going over and trying to show, you know, the changes so everyone can kind of get to grips with them, really. So I hope you enjoy it. I hope it helps. And if it has, please like, subscribe, hit the little bell for notification, as it really does help us out. Until the next video, take it easy, and I shall see you later.